it was really important for me to come into a company that I did think was doing something really good in the world, and I did feel was going somewhere, but that wasn't, the design stuff wasn't figured out yet. It was an open canvas. And so it's been like, you know, for 3 years, like lots of conversations and lots of iterations, trying lots and lots of different things to try to figure out what is our voice, how do we communicate who we are as a company. And I feel like we're just now starting to like kind of crack that and kind of find our own voice. But it's like not quite there yet. As far as like stuff that I've done previously, I think that I'm most proud of is our Facebook developer conferences, which are these big events that we have every year for all the developers. These are third-party people who are writing software that integrates with Facebook. So this can be games or applications on Facebook itself, but it can also be websites like CNN or other, you know, Yelp or Spotify that create applications that when you can log in with Facebook and then your friends are there in that application. So these people, all these companies send their engineers, the people who are writing their software, to our conference every year, and that's where we announce new features and help these people understand like the vision that we have for like where we're going with our platform. And so that's kind of where I've had the most impact so far.
What is that Facebook offers talking about design that makes the difference between Facebook and other social networks?
What is the difference between Facebook and other, like what makes the difference?
Talking about design.
Talking about design. I mean, I would argue that there are, like sort of looking back at social networks like MySpace and I don't know if you ever saw Verb, and in Facebook. I think that those were three that kind of all sprang up at the same time. And MySpace, I feel like, was sort of founded on the entertainment industry, and Verb was founded on the design industry, and Facebook was, you know, founded on like the technology, the engineering sort of or I guess not industry but cultures, as far as like the founders. And so I feel like that the design aesthetic of Facebook is largely driven by you know, Mark Zuckerberg's preferences for this very like simple, universal design aesthetic that isn't. So, you know, by comparison, like Verb, everybody in the design community was just like raving about how beautiful it was, but they didn't focus on like actually making it easy to use. It didn't scale well, and so it never like got like mainstream traction. And so I think that the biggest differentiator for Facebook is like that sort of focus on not on design aesthetics, but on simplicity and efficiency and speed.
How technology has changed the way that design and made 5 years ago to today?
I don't know. I mean, it's a hard question to answer. There's so, like, as far as graphic design that I do, or I guess I can kind of speak about that, and I can speak about some web design, even though I don't really do that too much. But like for myself, the technology, the computers are getting faster. You can do more complicated stuff quicker. There's a lot of technologies that are becoming more and more mature. Like there's a programming language called processing that is designed for with designers in mind. So it's you can write code to produce graphics that you can then take into print. And so over the last few years, I've been experimenting with that stuff quite heavily, and I feel like it's getting to a point that's like really mature. Web design, obviously, the internet is like maturing at a very rapid pace, as far as, thinking back 5-10 years to designing things with tables and, HTML to like, CSS, and now with HTML5, the flexibility that you can use. I've recently just been experimenting with sort of taking what I'd learned with processing and trying to apply it to the web, and using HTML5 has made that like much easier, which is very cool. I also, just the world in general, like there's this whole move to like additive manufacturing, and just like the ease with which individuals like myself can make things. So people have been building these platforms, and so a good example of this is there's a website called Pinocchio.com, and just recently the Pinocchio.com, they have a whole bunch of materials like wood and plastics, and then they have different processes like laser engraving or 3D printing or CNC. And so myself as a graphic designer, I was able to design a table and have them manufacture it. I'd never like made anything physical before, but they've built this platform that enables me to come along and like design a table in an evening, send out the files, and then they ship me the pieces and I put it together. And so that I see that trend picking up more and more, where it's empowering the individual to create their own stuff.